Back to 20 years ago, that was the time when the Dien Bien Phu War causing many painful deaths didn't occur in Vietnam. Long and army comrades in the People Army of Vietnam training camp were on vacation in Saigon. It's certain that I was the person who witnessed his love story with a younger Thảo. Thảo is my sister and she is a beautiful girl with glittering eyes along with a delicate appearance. One day, when Thảo attended a gig in the musical town Hoa Sen Vang, in which Long and soldiers enjoy holiday with his friends, she was in the spotlight of young boys at the age of 21. She was so attractive that boys had to whisper, "What a beautiful girl! Wow!" And Long was no exception. At that time, Long fell in love with her and started to conquer her heart step by step. He went for a walk beside her after she finished her music performance.
So, where are you now?
I live in the center of Saigon, and you?
I'm working in People Army of Vietnam training camp. Have you ever heard about it?
I know. I used to go there with my father.
I do hope that you will join us at the camp this weekend.
Of course, it's certain that I will arrive. The time passed by and finally they loved each other. They also sent each other sweet and romantic promises that listed what needed to be done after the end of the world. He promised that he would build a successful career and turn back to marry her, and she accepted by the vow that she would wait for him. It seemed like the most obvious evidence that proves their romantic love lied. It wasn't until the eruption of the Dien Bien Phu War that Long had to leave his hometown to fight for the country. He invited Thảo to the riverbank to say goodbye before going to the battle. Long valiantly struggled to gain the nation, independence, and territorial integrity. He sacrificed meals, sleep, and beloved families to devote himself to the country and Vietnamese citizens. Simultaneously, Thảo was still waiting and wrote several letters to him, but only a few received expected replies. On the other hand, due to a long period of time to wait for Long to marry her, her family forced Thảo to marry a rich businessman in the time. She resisted this situation many times, but eventually gave up and accepted her parents' compulsion. As the years went by, Long returned with a brilliant career in hand thanks to the investment and bonuses of the government after the war. It was a big surprise when he found out Thảo had got married. He had a mental breakdown, and Long once invited me to a glass of red wine and share his frustration with me. He even asked whether I could look for ways to allow him to get access to Thảo, and I agreed with him. After she arrived at the bar, all the bustle stopped to make way for a romantic and thoughtful atmosphere. Until she met Long again, she seemed to find herself and live a different life. Both of them were immersed in an intimate conversation and forgot about the time that gradually passed. Long invited her to dance and they gave each other a passionate kiss under the dim lights of the bar.
How have you been so far, Thảo?
I'm fine. How have you been?
I'm investing in a project near the military barrack. Everything went very well.
I miss you so much. All these years have always been the same.
I love you too. The more I fight for the nations or build my career, the more I think of you every day. I'm extremely happy to see you here.
But such happy moments couldn't last long. When Thảo husband uncovered their love affair, he separately arranged a party and invited Long and me to his house so that Thảo and Long could meet. At the party, my brother-in-law began to talk about his and Long's miserable past. Suddenly, he mentioned the reason that Long became rich.
I will never forget how you became rich, Long. If it happened my half, every one of your muggle cigarette will not run mostly like that.
After this point, I could feel the ominous silence that would happen. I can't believe that he was just a smuggler who made his fortune selling smuggled cigarettes to bars. Our husband even emphasized.
I can't believe how your life would be without me long.
He spoke in a self-important manner. His words were like a knife stabbing straight into Tao's heart. The party suddenly turned into a brawl. I knew that Tao was looking long. My sister looked at him with frustration and disappointed eyes, like how she couldn't come together with him. Tao was so frustrated that she went to her room, and then Long left quietly. Since that day, no news has been heard from Long. Tao seemed to be so tired of life day by day. The husband acted as if he was apologetic towards the person who shared the conjugal bliss with him.
I know what you and Long were doing behind my back. I just want to make you notice that he is not like what he seemed to be. His appearance can deceive you. You know it?
I guess so. I have just known that what you are doing for me is genuine, my dear. Since the day of the party, Long seemed to have disappeared. Suddenly, 1 week after, my sister and her husband traveled to Hanoi. He went to fight Tao. I can see his exhaustion based on his deep eye circle. I told him that she and her husband had traveled to Hanoi for the week, and they may be returned the following week. Long laughed with sadness and disappointment to say, if Tao had been here, she wouldn't have listened to every single word he said. Suddenly, I heard a loud car crash echoing throughout the neighborhood. A car crashed into Long's car, forcing it to collide with many other cars on the road. The driver of the other cars had fled. I shouted fearfully. I couldn't believe my eyes that the wounded person deaths were Long. Some neighbors and I took Long to the emergency room. I harrowingly shouted to wake Long up. I tried to call my sister many times with tears on my face. Please, pick up the phone. Tao, no sister. Hurry up, pick up the phone, please. But it seems worthless. With a little voice left, Long still mentioned the name of the girl and held tightly a diary notebook. I read that diary and noticed that he is still immersed in a dream that Tao still loves him very much. What he really wanted is to run abroad with Tao so that he can take care of Tao and make up for Tao for what she should have deserved in the past. Pitifully, by the end of her life, the person he loved had never been in love with him. 1 month after Long's death, I went to the bar, drank glasses of red wine, and had gossip with my friends. At that time, I came across my brother-in-law, who had an intimate conversation with the most aggressive and cruel guy in the town. I tried to avoid both of them and overhear their whole conversation. Surprisingly, it was Tao's husband who caused the death of my best friend, Long, without any mercy or pity. At first, I intended to go after him, but I thought of my sister and the honor of my family tree, so I told myself to stop. I took quick steps in the days, and I realized that it's truly hard for Long to satisfy everyone in his life. Everything came and went by like the wind, and it left unexpected remnants and pains that latecomers had to suffer. Moreover, my sister's love for Long is not as much as he has for her. The illusion of wealth and respect is only his subjective feelings. In reality, these things have changed. It makes everything, his love, his friends, and God abandon him when he passes away.